All right, good morning. How are you? Can you see my computer? I mean my screen. Thank you. So maybe we just wait for one moment to wait more students joining in. At the same time, I'm going to introduce what we are going to do today. Okay. Today is our week 10. So I'm going to put an announcement. All right, so this is our week 10. Welcome. So in week 10, we are going to do 2 sessions in the textbook. Okay, chapter 13. Chapter 12, session 6, and chapter 13.5. Chapter 12.6 is about constant growth annuity, and chapter 13.5, perpetuity. Okay. So that is our schedule for today. All right, do not forget each week we have 1% quiz. Total quiz is 10%. All right. So that is our plan. 2 sessions, constant growth annuity in chapter 12, session 6, and perpetuity, chapter 13, session 5. Okay. All right. Are there any questions? Anything? Let me check who are here. Yasa, thank you. Shuban. Monad. Juna, thank you so much for your participation. As usual, if you have questions, feel free to type in your question in chat area or directly speak up. Okay. So now we are going to do the questions. I will start. There are 5 questions. I will do question 2 first, and then do question 1 last. Okay. All right. 2. Let me check. Need help with the previous assignment? After lecture, we may have some time. You can ask questions to now, okay? Towards the end. Because the question is about the previous one, not right now. If you have questions right now, I can answer them, okay? Thank you, Juna. Other questions? All right. So this lecture, we are not going to use our calculator. We are heavily dependent on formula. So this question is about our typing. So chapter 12, session 6, constant growth annuity. Constant growth annuity. In this type of questions, remember so far our annuity. So for example, every month you pay $300. So the first month you pay $300, next month $300, the month after $300. Okay, now we are dealing with different concept, constant growth. So if you pay $300 this month, next month it will grow 10%. So next month you are going to pay $330, grow 10%. So the month after you are going to grow another 10%. So you are going to pay $363. something like that. Okay, so I'm going to use question 2 to illustrate the constant growth annuity. Okay, let's say here, question 2. You plan to make 10 annual deposit, so 10 annual deposit into your RRSP, starting with $660 each year and increase by 2.6%. Okay, so let's analyze this part first, then I will introduce the formula. Okay, let's just analyze what is given. Okay, so I'm going to use Excel to do the analysis. All right, so the first year you make contribution 660. Okay, the second year it is increased by 2.6%. So what is the contribution for second year? You use the number from the first year times 1 plus 2.6%. That is the contribution for second year. I pause for a moment to see if you have questions. I'm going to. So second year, you pay $677.16. Now, the third year, how much you pay? It is increased by 2.6% based on the second year. So the third year would be the second year times 1 plus 2.6%. For the third year, you contribute $600.94. No, $694.77. Okay, so let's do one more. Fourth year, you do third year times 1 plus 2.6%, etc. So you continue this until 10 years. Until 10 years. So this is a constant growth annuity. The payment is changed by a constant rate. That rate is 2.6%. We call this rate is K, constant growth annuity. Okay. So right now I give you the answer. So the first year, this is the size of first year. This is the size of second year, $677. $694 is the size of 10th year. Okay. The question we are asked is, what is the size of 10th deposit? There is a formula to do that. The 10th deposit equal to PMT times 1 plus K raised to power N minus 1. K is 2.6. N is 10 in our example. So N equal to 10. K equal to 2.6, and plug in this formula. PMT 660. Okay, so the answer would be for question A. Okay, the size of 10th deposit. Use this formula. PMT times PMT is $660 times 1 plus 2.6% raised to power N minus 1. Okay, so it becomes raised to power 9. So this is the answer for question A. Okay. So the easy way, you can use Excel to do this calculation. Okay. So the tens contribution, I'll write down here, equal to 660 times bracket 1 plus 2.6% raised to power 9. I pause for a moment. Any questions? The answer is $831.52. Okay. So this is for question A. Any questions? And question B, what will be the total amount deposited? So for total amount deposited, this is the first year, second year, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and until the 10th year, you got this number. Okay, I'm going to copy this number here. So this is the 10th payment. Okay, so for second question, the total payment, you add all these numbers together. Add all these numbers together. Of course, you have to figure out what is the size of the 5th year, 6th year, second year. Then you add all these numbers together. This is one way to do it. Another way, use formula. Okay. So the formula is this one here. Sum of periodic constant growth formula. Sum of periodic constant growth formula. It is a 12.7 formula number 12.7. Okay. So to use that formula, you just plug in the number PMT 660 times bracket 1 plus K. K is 2.6% raised to power N. N is 10. And the result minus 1 divided by K, 2.6%. Okay, so that is the formula. Plug in the number. And the result, again, I will use Excel to do the calculation here. So equal 660 times, there are two brackets, and then another bracket, 1 plus 2.6% raised to power 10 minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Closing bracket, and then over 2.6%. So I press enter. The answer is $7,428.25. So this is the second one. So any questions? Let me check. Okay. So far so good, everyone. So for constant growth annuity, no calculator method, it is just the formula. Okay. All right. So shall we move on to next question? Right. So question 3. Alina rents maybe this is session 13. So now I will go back to question 1. Okay, go back to question 1. All right. So question 1. 8 annual deposits are made earning interest 6% compounded annually. The size of first payment is 2,000 and the deposits increase at 3.5% thereafter. Okay, so for this one, let's analyze what is given here. Okay, what is given here? There are 8 payments, so n equal to 8. Interest compounded annually. Because this session we do not use a calculator, so we need to say this is I is 6%. In the formula we have I is 6% compounded annually. If 6% compounded quarterly, you have to use 6% divided by 4 when you use formula. But this question compounded annually, so I equal to 6%. I repeat, if 6% is compounded quarterly, you have to use 6% divided by 4. That is the I. And the size of the first deposit is 2,000, so this is my PMT. And the deposit increase every year. The rate is 3.5%. So this 3.5% is constant growth rate K. K is 3.5%. Now question A. Determine the total amount deposited. The total amount deposited. Okay. So the total amount deposited, we are going to use sum of periodic constant growth, so this formula, the total amount deposited. Okay, total amount deposited. So plug in the number based on this formula. PMT 2,000 times bracket 1 plus K, 1 plus 3.5% raised to power n. N is 8. The result minus 1. Okay. And this result divided by K, 3.5%. Okay, that is the formula. Okay. Total amount deposited. So now I can use Excel to facilitate the calculation. So I will delete all of the previous number. So now I will do calculation. So equal 2,000 times bracket, another bracket, 1 plus 3.5% raised to power 8 minus 1, closing bracket. Oops, messed up. So 2,000 times bracket 1 plus 3.5% raised to power h minus 1 closing bracket divide 3.5%. Okay. I pause for a moment to see if you have any questions. So this is the number. Okay, I'm going to copy this. Okay, and the result is here, $18,103.37. Question A. Okay. Now let's look at question B. How much was the accumulated value of the deposits just after the last deposit was made? Remember, each time when you make deposit, you earn interest. Interest is 6%. To answer this question, you need to use the future value of an ordinary simple constant growth annuity. So you need to use this formula here. Future value of an ordinary simple constant growth annuity. Use this formula. Okay, so the question asks you the future value. Again, there is no calculator steps. Okay. All right, so you plug in the numbers. So question B, I will type in maybe question B here. Question B, PMT 2000 times bracket 1 plus I is 6%, 1 plus I raised to power n is 8, minus 1 plus k is 3.5%, raised to power n is 8%, and the result of this number divide bracket I minus k, so 3.5%, I is 6%, 6% minus 3.5%. So this is answer. Plug in the number for question B. And now you need to use Excel to do the calculation. Okay. So I'm going to use Excel here. Okay. So I will maybe use this cell equal 2000 times bracket, another bracket, 1 plus 6% raised to power h minus bracket 1 plus 3.5% raised to power h, closing bracket. Let me see, do I need another bracket? No. Okay, and then divided by bracket 6% minus 3.5%, closing bracket. So I pause for a moment to see, typing the number in Excel. Press enter. So the answer is $22,163.12. So that is question B. Okay. Question B. Okay. say $12,163.12. Okay, question B. All right. So this is question A, question B. Now question C. The size of the fixed deposit. Okay, the size of the fixed deposit. We need to use this formula here. The size of N's deposit. The size of fixed deposit. So equal to 2,000 times 1 plus K. K is 3.5%. Raised to power N minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. So let's do question C here. Equal to 2,000 and bracket 1 plus 3.5% raised to power 4. Okay, 2,295 cents or $2,295.05. This is answer for question C. All right, last question. Question D. What is the amount of interest included in the accumulated value? So this question, use the result from question B. Question B is a future value, is the accumulated value. Question B minus the answer for question A. Question A is a total amount deposited. Okay, that is the question D. So in Excel, where is my, this is my answer, this is answer A, this is answer B. So question D, question D, you use question B, the answer for question B minus the answer for question A. So you got $4,059.75. Okay. So this is question D. How do you get this question? Use answer from question B minus answer from question A. Any questions? Any questions? All right. So now let's move on to next question. So we did question 1, question 2. Let's do question 3. Question 3 is chapter 13, section 5. That is perpetuity. A perpetuity is an annuity such that the payment is made forever. Okay, for example, the scholarship. Every year, our college provides scholarship. So every year, after year, after year, after year, the scholarship goes forever. Okay, so that is a perpetuity. Please watch the lecture, pre-recorded lecture for. So go to the lecture recordings, and then chapter 13, section 5, perpetuity here. And for constant growth, it is here, constant growth annuity. Those are lecture, give you the concept, examples, and the example use multiple method. Now we focus on problem solving, okay? All right. So question 3, okay. Alina rents a suite and pays $900 90, that is PMT, in monthly rent in advance. In advance means it is the fourth day of the month. So it is actually due, annuity due. Due means begin mode, BGN. The question asks you, what is the cash value of the property if money is worth 11.9% compounded monthly. Compounded monthly means interest I is 11.9% divided by 12. You have to divide it by 12. That is the interest I. Okay. And the question asks you the cash value of the property means what is the present value of this annuity due. So you use this formula. Formula 13.7. Okay. And plug in the number. PMT is 500. Okay. PMT, $990. Then plus 990 divided by I. I is 11.9% divide 12. Okay, and you will get this answer. Okay. So I'm quickly going to use Excel to demonstrate. So, oops. So equal 990 plus 990 divide bracket 11.9% over 12. Okay. Oops. So this is the number. Okay. The other way to use this formula is you can take PMT out. Okay, it is the same as PMT times 1 plus 1 over I, the same formula. Okay. Any questions? All right. So remember, you need to practice. You redo this question by yourself without looking at my solution to see if you can come up with the correct answer. After you achieve this level, you do the questions in the online lectures here. Do the questions on online lectures, and then do examples in the textbook. Only after you do those three things, then you do the quiz. You should be prepared. Okay. All right. So question 4. Question 4. I will leave question 3 open. Choosing to commute to work by driving a hybrid vehicle will save $340 each month in fuel. If money is worth 7.2% compounded monthly, how much extra money over the price of gas-powered vehicle should be invested to purchase a hybrid? Okay. So this question asks you, what is the present value? What is the present value? Okay. the formula you are going to use is PMT. This is perpetuity over I. PMT 340. I is 7.2%. Compounded monthly, so you have to divide it by 12. Okay, and you will get the result. So I'm going to, oops. So equal 340 over bracket 7.2% over 12 closing bracket. So this is the answer. Okay. Any questions? Okay, question 5. Question 5. Transcontinental pipelines is considering a technical process that is expected to reduce annual maintenance cost by 60,000. What is the maximum amount of money that could be invested in the process to be economically feasible if interest is 11% compounded quarterly? Okay. So for this question, the question is, what is the maximum amount of money? So the question actually asks you for present value. So present value equal to PMT divided by I. But if you have a number of payment PY not equal to CY, you need to use equivalent rate per payment period P. So what is P? P is equivalent rate per payment period. P equal to 1 plus I raised to power C minus 1. And what is C? C equal to CY over PY. Okay. And what is CY? CY is interest is compounded quarterly. CY equal to 4. What is PY? This is annually. So PY equal to 1. Okay. So the fourth step to calculate equivalent rate. So this question comes from here. This belongs to this question, these notes. Okay. So the fourth step, calculate equivalent rate per payment period. P equal to 1 plus I is 11%, compounded quarterly. When you use formula, this I, 11%, you have to divide it by 4. And then raised to power C. C is CY over PY, so 4 over 1. The result minus 1. That is your P. Okay. You can use Excel to do it. This is the Excel formula. So 1 plus 11% divided by 4 raised to power. This one here is the Excel. Plug in those numbers, you will get 0.114621. That is your P. Okay. And once you get this number, you use PMT. PMT is 60,000 PMT divided by this P. So 60,000 divided by P. P is 0.114621. And you will get the result. Okay. Any questions? So in summary, what we did today, we did 2 sessions. Okay. So I'm going to note here. So this is today, okay. We did session 12.6, constant growth, annuity. And then we did chapter 13.5. That is perpetuity. Perpetuities. So that's all for today's problem solving session. Now I will answer individual questions. I'm going to stop recording.